This is a specialized island to lock up dangerous criminals. They often commit murder and are brought here as a life sentence. Those who are sentenced to be locked up on this island are considered to receive a one-way ticket. Never being able to return to the mainland means having no chance to rebuild your life. So see, one of the prisoners who once led a notorious criminal gang, founded his own empire on the mainland. This island bullies weaker prisoners and even continues to iron out those who do not submit to him. Since then, the island is divided into two factions. One is the gang side and the other is the prisoners living in hiding. Staying away from his rule one day while looking for food, mother and son Mal and Jin were unfortunately discussed by their husband's people, and they ran away from the forest to the beach, seemingly killed. Suddenly there, a new prisoner appeared from under the sea. According to the old rules, his group immediately changed the target to attack the new ghost to show their authority, but to show them that this prisoner was a former prisoner. Even though the Interpol agent was in a disadvantageous situation, his arms were blinded, but he was still able to fight back with controlled kicks. After defeating them all, he left one guy to ask about Kun information. Ha smiled contemptuously that caused him to receive a worthy ending. Clearing the way, Kim Yoon also left. Suddenly, the child came to help him undress. Jin knew where Kun was now. He just needed to help. His mother went back to the village to cure the girl and told him where she lived. The male lead suddenly looked over at the unconscious woman. He didn't say anything, immediately lifted her onto his shoulder and followed Jin instructions. Returning to the village, the people there quickly focused on taking you for treatment. On the other hand, some people were worried because of the appearance of a stranger like Kim Yoon. Who are you? Why did you came here? Even though they had no matter what he asked, he was still determined to keep Katet, with a coldness that made his spine goosebumps. No one knew how scary this man was. They only focused on following the rules. Everyone who discovered the throne, this village must be destroyed. It all just to protect the safety of the village. The garlic-haired man named Bao, who claimed to be the leader of the island, immediately incited the brothers to attack Kim Yoon. The child stood up and said to help him. He saved my mother. He wanted to kill Kun. After hearing that, everyone's face changed because they knew very well about that murderer. Kun is not someone who wants to kill but can kill inside. The village elder examined your wound and discovered that she had been poisoned. He began to make medicine from herbs and form it into a wet, viscous ball and applied it to your wound after a long night. The next morning she also woke up, but the first thing when she saw Kim Yoon, her actions made everyone surprised. She pointed her weapon straight at his face. Why did you come here? So she still remembers very clearly that he is the dirty police officer. Thursday sent her to prison, forcing her to give birth in this extremely bad environments. Everyone was surprised why the police appeared on the island. The prisoners' quarantine island was all to take revenge on Kun, who brutally murdered Kim Yoon's wife and children. In return for saving his life, he kept his promise to reveal Kun's whereabouts and at the same time asked him not to ever. Now when she returned to this place, she did not expect that Jin also intended to take revenge, so she silently left home and followed Kim Yoon until her mother discovered it. It was too late. Everyone at home ran into panic and ran to look for her everywhere. On the other side, Jin was enthusiastically telling Kim Yoon a story about Kun's story. The day the murderer came here, he also brought a girl. The two of them took turns sowing disaster on the prisoner on this island. The bag was cut because he did it. They were about halfway to the destination when Jin discovered a hole burying a body. Unexpectedly, there was someone he knew inside. The girl quickly ran towards the place and accidentally fell into a hole. Because of the distance, the male lead couldn't arrive in the inn, only picked up a stuffed rabbit that resembled the toy his daughter always carried with her. Kim Yoon had more. The motivation to search for the enemy's grave is that there is a prison managed by him that currently has many other prisoners being held. He does not have time to help them because he is busy fighting with the prison guards. Only with after a few punches, the main male had defeated all his opponent. He continued to move forward, opened the room and saw Jin there, surrounded by several juniors along with a Western leader, fighting from the outside in. Now he continues to fight with his bare hands. He single-handedly takes on all his opponent, with the motto that if anyone touches him, he will destroy that child. Soon, everyone will be brought out to be fresh salad by the male lead. Now only the foreign leader remains. He has a better appearance, so this is an unbalanced solo match. However, it not because of his physical shortcomings that he's afraid. The male lead belongs to the operating system dosage. It's too small, but he can fight with his bare hands and punch him in the skull. Jin saw it, this scene in the eyes of little Kim Yoon was no different from a battle-mad monster. However, for her, he was still very gentle and gallant, urging her to quickly return to her mother. The people in the village came to find out that Jin had returned to the village. They immediately chased after them, but it was too late. The girl was captured by Ku and other henchmen. The group went to find Jin. Halfway there, they discovered they were lost. The moment Jin was about to be shot and killed by the female archer, Kim Yoon appeared. in time and used a shield to block the arrow to protect Jin. He then used a time-buying measure to give Jin time to run away. They both hid in a nearby abandoned house, find the safest and most private place to hide. Not long after, Yu attacked the house. At this time, the female archer found the male protagonist's location. She dipped an arrow into a thick tube to soak in poison, then shot a test shot back. The front actually hit Kim Yoon body, but he was extremely strong. Even though he was injured, he did not complain and remained absolutely silent until you attacked with an arrow. The enemy archer used it. Teammates act as shields. Now the opponent has changed the target to attack. She finds a hiding place and deliberately lures the opponent to sleep far away into a trap using the stealing move Dragon Porridge Fung, pretending to be hit and then luring the opponent to come. At that moment, she took off her shield and proudly shot directly at the opponent. The arrow passed through the body, causing the opponent to freeze in place. This time, she succeeded, rescued her daughter and Kim Yoon. The villagers came to her. Together, they helped her bring her benefactor back to the village to give him medicine and were also enthusiastic about treating him. Unexpectedly, a talented person like the village elder also felt that the probability of successfully walking up was very low. Outside, Now and his teammates conducted an investigation of the surrounding area. Unexpectedly, they accidentally stepped into an animal's trap and both remained in the same position hanging upside down on the tree, waiting until midnight when the crab's men appeared. The commander intentionally slashed to death Now comrades, and specifically released him asking for peace, had to obediently hand over Kim Yoon to the leader. Bao believed in what he said, so he immediately followed suit. Unknowingly, when he returned, he was followed by them and found his way to the ghost village. To protect everyone, Tian Fong opened fire. That arrow is considered as consent to challenge the leader of the villain factions. Quickly order his juniors to take down their shirts, turn on the killing mode, and cut off their hands without fear of having to go to the closet. The only way he was safe and sound without having to sweat was because the villains thought he had accomplished a great feat for them. That's why they decided to let him live. However, when they saw Yu being beaten to the ground by him, the village was devastated and no one was left intact. Kim Yoon still hadn't woken up and didn't know how to live or die. He didn't expect that he would cause such a serious disaster. The last moment he wanted to do it, something useful for the village as a way to get credit for the crime. He picked up his weapon and slashed the villain commander from behind. He initially did not intend to kill him, but after the second attack, the commandant started to attack him. Immediately he slashed her brother with flowers and leaves, then continued torturing her as a pastime, causing her to no longer have enough strength and will to resist the fatal stab he intended to give her. Unexpectedly, the bag of paintings took him away. At this time, he felt that things were getting out of control. The old man muttered a few words and then suddenly lost consciousness. It was if some power passed through Kim Yoon's body, and he began to move on the body when Jin came to stand in front of the enemy to protect Kim Yoon's mother. He appeared to confront Du with the opposing commander. Jin was immediately dismissed as this battle was Kim Yoon's own 2 lives, is the ultimate goal that Kun wants to have. So this commander must at all costs bring back Kim Yoon's head, if it delicious, then rush in to earn food, but use it all up and have no teeth left. And porridge, the main male character gained strength, all alone. He used the holy sword to swing one shot, but no one dared to enter very quickly, having destroyed all the small soldiers and generals. Only the leader appeared and another guy finished holding the sword. The male lead used the holy sword 25C, defeated the opponent 3 swords and slashed them with quick movement, determinedly avoided the attack with lightning fast reflexes, no less than a real samurai, and finished taking care of both the ringleader and his subordinates one after another. He set out to find Kun. Unexpected revenge was taken to this island. Kun was set on fire by his brother, causing severe burns on his whole body. Now he still has to apply mixed cream day and night. Oh, he was wrong, applying pain relief powder. He wrapped his whole body into a mummy to see Kim Yoon. 2 sworn enemies facing each other. Didn't need to say much and immediately rushed into the dragon fighting tiger fighting scene. Unexpectedly, when he lost, Kun played dirty. He pulled out a knife from under the thick tube to attack Kim Yoon. The main character still tried. He tried his best to block all of his opponent's attack and punched him in the face, seemingly exhausted. Why did he crawl to the bonsai pot, pick a handful of leaves, chew them like a cow eating grass, and then continue to fight after 69 hours before finally walking up to his opponent? The opponent had also exhausted his energy. The male protagonist decided to end the match. He used an iron head to repeatedly strike his opponent Geed, causing him to bleed. From then on, this island that was once a hellish place was resorted to peace. More than ever, no one will see Kim Yoon appear again. The content of today's movie has ended. Thank you for your interest. See you all in the next video on the channel.